Hey, do you want to hear a joke? Three trans girls trying to open a jar. If you don't get that joke, then congratulations, you get to eat all the pickles you've been craving. Hello friends, it's Cami. Thanks for stopping by. If you're new here, welcome to the channel. Today, we're talking about a 9-month HRT update video. I like to format my videos, my HRT update videos, where we're going to talk about any firsts that I had over the course of the month, and then we're going to talk about physical changes, emotional changes, and lifestyle changes. Before we get into the meat of the video though, I want to say real quick that YouTube's been deleting comments, so if you leave a comment and it vanishes, that's why. Just try again with some different verbiage. I don't delete comments, I only delete transphobes. So since we have a patron on Patreon now, I got excited and I bought a couple channel upgrades. I got a light, I got a ring light, so I'm nice and evenly lit now. I also got a microphone, but I had to return the microphone. But I'll have another one by the next video. I also got a tablet mount for a tripod so that I can more easily read scripts over on the other channel. So let's talk medication. My journey, I started my HRT journey on spironolactone. I took just that for 2.5 months. And then I went on a full HRT, which is the 9 months that we're talking about now, of a higher dose of spironolactone and estradiol patches. And 2 months ago, I started progesterone. So my current med dose, whatever. Spironolactone 100 milligrams twice a day. Estradiol 2 packages, 0.1 milligram, 2 packages. Estradiol 2.1 milligram patches twice a week. Oh God, if I was taking the entire pack. Anyway, and then progesterone 100 milligrams once a day. So last time I mentioned an HRT timeline that I found on Reddit. I wanted to spend a little bit more time talking about it last time, but my brain is kind of all over the place. So we're going to spend a little bit more time with it today. So it is a male to female HRT effect timeline. The categories are fat redistribution, reduced muscle, softer skin, lower libido, reduced erections, breast growth, testicle shrinking, and body hair thinning. The 3 different colors for that: blue is onset time, so you'll start noticing some changes. Green is changes occurring, so that's when everything is actually happening. And then the magenta, purple, whatever color that is completion time. So it's the changes really start to taper off over the course of that time. Right now, we are right here. And when it comes to talking about physical changes, I'll touch base on where we are on that chart. So let's talk about some firsts that I had this month. I actually haven't had that many because transitioning during the quarantine has been really different than I think of what a lot of people experience when they're not transitioning in 2020 and 2021. So things like no public restrooms. I still haven't had the opportunity of using a public restroom because I don't go places. I also don't have a lot of facial dysphoria when I'm out and around because I'm wearing a mask all the time. So it's different. It's different than a lot of the stuff that I've seen online of people talking about their transitions. So I feel like I'm coming at it from a bit of a unique perspective, but it also means that I'm not having the same kind of first experiences that a lot of girls would have. I'm due for a 9-month trans consult with the endocrinologist. We do one of those every 3 months. However, I normally like to wait until after I've had my consult before I make one of these videos in case there's something that's happened or whatnot. My consult, however, isn't until next week, so I didn't want to be late on yet another HRT update video. So I'll tell you guys about it if there's anything actually going on. I did get my lab results, and there's not really anything worth mentioning. Everything is normal, but my estrogen levels are a little low, so we'll talk about that next week when I see her. Probably not anything worth really mentioning. So the big girly thing that I did this month is I got my legs waxed. I have never had a waxing before. Well, I've had my brow done, but I don't think that really counts. So now I have nice smooth legs. It's pretty great. I love it. They looked like a crime scene when I first got them done, but they are better now. And it hurts, but it was a predictable hurt. It wasn't bad. Another cool first that I had this month is something that has never happened to me before. I happened to catch sight of myself real quick. I was getting groceries out of the car and I happened to glance down and I saw myself, and my lesbian brain immediately went, "Ooh, hello." And then my rational brain went, "Hey, dumb shit, that's you." And I thought that was pretty cool because I've never liked the way I look. I always thought I looked really terrible, which is understandable. Today, I'm actually feeling great, and I'll show you why. You may notice that I'm wearing just a bathrobe and looking a little scandalous. We're going to talk about physical changes. So one of the things that I like to do with these videos is every 6 months, I want to do a comparison shot. When I did my very first video, I had a part where I said, "And this is what I look like right now." And I thought it was kind of silly that I did it because, after I had done a few videos, I thought it was kind of silly that I had done it because what purpose would it serve? But then 6 months later, I got thinking, hey, wouldn't it be neat if I did a comparison? I'm curious what actually looks different. So I did one and I was really surprised. Now that 3-month HRT update video was 6 months ago. So I did another one today. Let me show you the comparison. I do want to warn you ahead of time that I am wearing my underwear in these, so thirst bait warning. All right, so this is what I looked like back in February 2020, pre-everything. This is what I looked like in August of 2020. And this is what I look like today. Suffice to say, I'm feeling pretty fucking good about myself right now. That is so strange. So strange. I'm not used to feeling good about myself. When I was a boy, when I was in like my 20s, I did some modeling and stuff, and I never thought I looked attractive. So I always, like, hitting on girls and whatever, I always just kind of acted as if people found me attractive, but I didn't necessarily find myself attractive. Hey, baby. Do you want to be in the video?
What?
Do you want to be in the video?
Uh-uh.
You sure?
Positive.
All right. I don't know why she doesn't want to be in the video. She's fucking gorgeous. And now she's blushing. All right. So let's talk about actual changes that have occurred over the course of the last month. Let's talk physical changes. My upper body changes have been, they started to plateau a little bit for a little while there, up until about the 6-month mark, which if you consider that against the timeline effect chart, so at the 6-month mark is when things really start to kick in. So it's perfectly normal to plateau at about 6 months, which is also when I happen to start the progesterone. So things like softer skin and fat redistribution, the changes are so incremental that I don't necessarily notice as they're happening, but they definitely have been happening, as you can see in the comparison. The only thing really of note about my upper body changes is last time I mentioned that my girlfriend got me a laser hair removal tool that I was using on my face, and that I was going to update this month about whether it's been effective or how effective it's been. And I haven't really noticed any changes with it because I wasn't using it correctly. There is a setting for how intense the laser is, and I had it on the lowest setting. So the the fact that I wasn't noticing anything, but I did notice and I corrected it. So I'll update you guys next month on how effective that tool has been. So for my lower body, again, there's just, the changes are so incremental that it's hard to tell from day to day or week to week what exactly is changing. As far as fat redistribution, it's still shifting around. I have a pretty low body fat percentage, so there's not a whole lot of fat to really move around to begin with, but my hips still are filling out and looking a lot nicer. Emotional changes. Last month, I mentioned that I really wasn't doing real well, and I was kind of having a hard time, and I wasn't very creative or motivated or anything like that. And this month, same shit. I'm still having a hard time, but things are better now. Last time I was just coming off the holidays, and I fucking hate the holidays, which I've talked about numerous times. So it makes sense that I would be a little bit better. But again, still not fantastic. Lifestyle changes now. I don't, just like last month, I don't have a lot really to talk about when it comes to lifestyle changes, because even prior to transition, I was already living fairly genuinely. So most of the changes to my lifestyle were at the beginning. Because of quarantine, I haven't really had the opportunity to have some of those first, like I mentioned up top, that might require some sort of lifestyle change. So I, once again, don't really have much to update in that particular category. So if you have any questions or comments or whatever for me, go ahead and leave them down below. If you're seeing this on a social media platform, then continue the conversation there. I try to respond to absolutely everyone, and I love hearing from all of you, especially since I don't spend a lot of time on social media much these days. I try to be back every 2 weeks with new videos, so I welcome you to subscribe. So as I mentioned up top, I am on Patreon right now. Links in the description. Patreon.com/CarmillaTLV, where you can join the journey just like this wonderful person right here and help the channel out so I can do things like buy lights and microphones. So being February, that marks 1 year that this channel has been active, and incidentally also 1 year since I came out as trans. So next time we're going to do kind of a retrospective of the first year of being a trans girl. And then after that will be time for a 10-month HRT update. So I will see you guys next time. Thanks for being my friend.